So
Okay.
first and foremost, thanks Alpha for joining the vlog on behalf of Experience Canada with the
My
career
pleasure.
choice segment. But first, my first question obviously would be, could you tell me and the viewers that are watching a bit about yourself?
So yeah, my name's Afua. I'm born and raised here. First generation Canadian. I spent my early years in Gatineau. So ma première langue c'est le français. My first language is French. We moved to Ottawa when I was around in the first grade. So I finished all of my elementary schooling up until the 12th grade in French. And then I went to college. I started at La Cité, but I kind of took a program that wasn't very for me. I took social work, and then like while in the program, I'm like this is not for me. So the second semester I took was like a general semester, and I sought out a guidance counselor, and he recommended public relations to me. So I took a few classes because I you had to start the program in the beginning. I liked the classes I took, so the next year I signed up for public relations at Algonquin College. Loved the program there. I highly recommend it. Had a good time, and then I took a bachelor's in communications at Royal Road University out in Victoria, BC. I wanted to see a little bit of Canada. And so now, out of university, I was working for the Canadian Museums Association for 3 years, and I actually got that job through a job agency. Uh, I'm not gonna recommend one, but, just Google job agency Ottawa, and they helped me find that position. And funny enough, I didn't even have to interview for that job because they were just looking for someone to fill in the spot. They told me it was temporary with the potential of extension, and then when I was shadowing my first day. She's like, yeah, like the person who told me about the job from the job agency told me they're looking for someone to start like in 2 days if you're free. I was like, yep. There's no interview required. I was like, oh, like yeah. Interviews make me nervous. Let me accept this, and it's in my field. So it was a great opportunity. And now, after that job, I just left it in like last fall. I just got a new job. Well, in February, I got a new job at the Ottawa Public Library, and I'm also loving that there.
Okay, so that's good. So based on your experience, you started off in social work, and
Hmm.
then you found your new passion, I guess you could say,
Yes.
from your college experience. You went off, you studied at Algonquin, and then maybe with, I guess I could say by chance, or maybe just a coincidence, you found your current position. And based on what you're doing right now, I think that's a good inspiration for people at Experience Canada, no, like namely the kids. If you find your passion or you didn't find your passion, there's always different routes that you can take, and then eventually you'll find your true calling. So just moving on to
Yeah.
the second question. So looking back, I know you've mentioned it previously, but looking back at your formative years, so during your studies, have you ever considered working in the communication field specifically, or?
Honestly, no. I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger. And I remember a conversation with my sister. I was in the third grade, and she's 10 years older than me. So she has more insight, more wisdom. And I told her I wanted to be a doctor. And she said, you have 3 more years of elementary school, 6 years of high school, and then it takes 9 years to be a doctor after high school. Do you love school that much? And I looked at her and I was like, and from that point on, I really did not know what I wanted to do. All I know is like I wanted to help people. So that's why I ended up in social work, but I really had no clue at all. And honestly, when I was at La Cité in my second semester, I felt even more lost. But when I took the career aptitude test, the guidance counselor was so wise. When I was telling him like, oh, maybe this job, he was like, well, in this job you have to do this, this, and that. Like he's giving me the cons. And he's telling me like, okay, like yeah, it's good for this, but there's also the cons that you have to think about. So he's like, okay, like maybe not that one, maybe this. And I'm like, okay, maybe this one. He's like, no, no. And he's like, what about public relations? And honestly, when he said public relations, I was like, what is that? I've never heard of that in my life. But yeah, so that's when it went into like, okay, I can give you a few classes. You can try it out if you like it. You don't sign up for it next semester. So it was really, like you said, kind of by chance that I ended up in a field that I love to work in.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting because as you said, at first when you heard the name public relations, you had no clue, but eventually you got into the mold of things and yeah, like you said, that's what you're doing right now.
Yes,
And yeah, that's how your passion kind of grew. Um,
exactly.
so how does networking play a role in your professional career?
Um, I would say it's networking is really good for like knowing about opportunities. I think there's also like potential to get insight from different fields. So I'm in communications. I see things from like communications perspective, but let's say I wanted to design an app or a website. If I have a friend who's in tech or coding and all of that stuff, like I know I can ask them for insight. Like, okay, if I want to learn this myself, how long would it take? I can calculate in my mind if I want to hire someone else. There's always like advice as well that you can get from other people in other fields who have deeper deeper expertise in something. I like also the exchanging of information that you get from networking. There's support in challenges as well, and I feel like even if you're speaking to someone who's in a different field, there's always something to learn. And I don't know if it plays like it didn't play a role in like the job roles that I've gotten, but it definitely played a role in like how I consider things. So I'm like in my department now, like I'm in the communications team. For sure, when we speak to the people who run the website, the tech support or technology experience is what they call it at my job. Um, I get to understand how they do things. So then the next time I produce work for them that's written, I would know how to write it so that it works for them, so it doesn't take them as much time. And so we're minimizing a waste of time by understanding what they do, and then they understand what we do, and it's just it's essential for teamwork. Um, and yeah, it's good to like also build like relationships with people through networking. But I find also you don't only have to stick to that. You can also like get mentors. If you have the money for a career coach, you can go for that as well. So there's many avenues of networking, and I think lastly, I think you can also use any opportunity to be a networking opportunity. So you don't have to go to a networking event, but you can go to a housewarming party and you see people, you just talk, get to know what their interests are, and if you feel like maybe one day we can collaborate on something, or maybe one day I might have a question to ask them, you get I don't know their IG, Instagram. Is that what people ask for these days when they? I
Yeah.
don't know if people carry business cards because COVID-19, but yeah, you just get their contacts. You never know when you'll need their help.
So one word that really spoke to me while you were explaining is just being resourceful. It might
Mhm.
not come from you specifically, but if it's skills that you're willing to learn or even relationships that you want to form can be outside of your circle, could be not only at work, could be in different disciplines. So as long as you find that niche of creating that bond or even trying to find people that you can build with, um, so
Yes.
even the kids out there, maybe they're not in a position where they're of age to meet people or just any people, but just have that notion in mind that obviously eventually as you grow older, you build experience. It's always good to learn on your own, but also to have people around, well-rounded professionals, so that way you can jumpstart your career.
It's true,
So
and I find like when you oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, you can go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, like, I found if you just ask people, people are usually willing to share, and that's kind of a shortcut. Like, you can do the work and do all the mistakes, and it'll take longer, but if you ask someone who's already done it, they'll most likely share whatever they can share to help you out.
That's true. And that actually leads to the next question. I find it really, really important, not only to find that information, but also as some sort of outlet or even advice for the kids that are listening. So, were there any key figures in the work field that helped push you to the professional that you are today?
Honestly, I would say it's kind of broad, but I would say my teachers, um, because they kind of have like that, when your parents tell you something and you don't like what they're saying, but they're right, like in the back of your mind, they're right. I find that that's how the teachers were like. I mean, they may have given you assignments that you didn't want to do, or you're like, oh, public speaking, man, I'm not taking a professional public speaking. Here I am today in a professional where there's public speaking, but I find that like having like respectable, I was really lucky. I had a lot of teachers that like I respected and did their work properly, in my opinion. So I find that like my teachers were the ones who helped push me to be the professional I am today, and they refined my soft skills. And I find even like jobs, like my customer service jobs that had nothing to do with communication directly also helped me, because you get those soft skills like communication, teamwork, problem solving, time management, all those things you can bring into whatever field that you want to go into. So yeah, even so besides teachers, I would say even my employers, my managers, supervisors in any way were the ones who helped me be a good professional.
So for the people listening, you've already heard the teachers and just people around, like I said, or what she said rather. Maybe we don't take into account, or we didn't take into account before, but maybe right now it should be a reminder that even teachers could help you, because obviously they have experience, and as you go along, you grow older, you want more experience. So it's always good.
Yes.
Um, so the last question is, what advice could you give to high school students interested in communication, let alone or just anything related?
I would say just go for it. The field is so broad. Like you can go like if you don't like journalism, try marketing. Like you still get to write. If you don't like that, if you rather just be speaking, like you can try broadcasting. There's if you like your face enough, you can go into TV broadcasting. If you don't like your face, radio broadcasting. I don't know. There's so many avenues. There's digital media, social media. There's so many ways that you can. Okay, like journalism is not for me, but like let me try public relations. Let me see how that's like. There's and on top of that, I find that like if you have a passion, like let's say you you find communications kind of meh, but you really are passionate about sports, like that's a way for you to be like a key person who's now writing for sports magazine or something like that. Like if you have a passion that's any type of passion, any business, they all need communication. So if it's animation that you want to do, or you want to write, or you want to be on the strategic side of things, there's always a way for you to be involved in whatever you like through communications. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
my advice is to go for it.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid.
those are really good advices. Thanks again for taking the time to share your insights and your expertise in your field, and hopefully the kids can watch this clip. I mean, once it has been posted, and get more of a feel of what they want to do. It might not be communication, but some, like you said, could be something related. But it all
Mhm.
changes into developing your skills as a professional. So
Sure.
thanks again on behalf of Experience Canada,
Thanks for having me.
and take care.
You too. Bye.